what's the word? Like using your time wisely. I don't know, something like that. Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and I know it's been like a few weeks since the Nintendo Direct, but I still wanted to really talk about some of the games that they announced, specifically the Pikmin game. So I just hadn't got a chance to talk about it, except for like the brief segment I had during my little impressions video. The real question is, can Pikmin work as a side-scrolling, like, platforming-esque game? And the answer is I'm not sure. So Pikmin has been a weird series. It's only had 3 entries so far, 2 of which are on the GameCube. They did do, the Wii Play controls, new control schemes on the Wii, like just ports of basically 1 and 2 using the Wiimote, which by the way are great because the Wiimote and Nunchuck is probably the definitive way to play Pikmin because again, that returns in 3 that control scheme plus, or you can play as just the gamepad. My first playthrough, I played with you just the gamepad, and the controls are a little iffy. I mean, it worked on GameCube, don't get me wrong, but on Wii U, it was a lot harder just because they extended the reach of what you could throw, and just with the Wiimote, it was so much more precise of where you could throw your Pikmin to where they can go. Then you would still play with the gamepad in front of you so you could look at the map and touch where it would go and all that stuff. Maybe that. And then there's, of course, Pikmin 4 is supposedly coming out that's been done for a while, I guess, and a lot of people are just assuming this is definitely on the next title considering, I mean, it's not on Wii U, and it better not be this game. That's the thing I gotta say. Like, I did say that a lot in the last video, and the thing is, I don't think this is it, because Miyamoto did specifically say that it was named Pikmin 4, and, like, named it Pikmin 4, while in this reveal, it just said Pikmin, like, name subject to change, basically saying that this game is not solidified with a title just yet. Maybe, like, they're still early in development, they only really have, like, a core mechanic-based groundwork started, you know? It leads me to believe that this definitely isn't Pikmin 4. So my fear for this being Pikmin 4 is definitely, I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is just going to be some spin-off. And you know what's really interesting is this is another spin-off that Nintendo's been outputting. What I'd rather say is a controversial spin-off, where the series has either lapsed or we haven't got a proper entry in a while. Animal Crossing, for example. I think the reason this game isn't getting as much hate as, you know, Happy Home Designer and Federation Force is just because we know that there's another Pikmin coming, because there's no way that this is Pikmin 4, for the reasons I just mentioned. So I feel like that's the reason a lot of people are more forgiving, including myself, why this is like, okay, maybe this can work. But the thing is, how I think a Pikmin would work, like, you'd have to, okay, in order to transfer the gameplay and the overall feeling of Pikmin into a platformer, this is how I would do it. Whether the game's actually doing that or not, we can review that at the end. But anyways, so Pikmin's basically, it's a stage-based game, essentially, because even, I'm talking about the main canon. It's a stage-based game where you start off with a first area, and then you unlock the later stages, and there's only a good 4, sometimes even 5 areas. And the 5th area, for example, in Pikmin 4 was just built for the final boss, but it was a pretty extensive level as well, but that was really all you could do there. So essentially, it's a stage-based game. You select it, and there's a time limit you have to it, and in that time limit, you can really do whatever you want, and it feels like a free roam game, but really you're still confined within this level, essentially. However, there are certain areas that are blocked off because, you know, you don't have the right Pikmin, or perhaps you don't have enough of specific Pikmin, or just stuff like that. It's like puzzle, basically, and then you gotta complete certain objectives to progress farther, then to come back and return. In a sense, kind of Metroidvania in a way, if you really think about it. So how it would work in a side-scroller, it would still be stage-based. So you'd select a stage, and it would just be a really big, expansive like basically 2D planed map with avenues going up and down, and like horizontal, like many places to traverse and go, and just a giant big area to explore, just like the Pikmin levels are. And then there's going to be areas you can go and areas you can't go. And there's going to be a time limit where you can take stuff back to your ship, maybe break down certain walls and make certain bridges so you make getting back to the ship even quicker. Perhaps even add some sort of like kind of like Triple Deluxe or Robobot formula where maybe even unlock back around elements where you can actually have Pikmin take a shortcut to the ship. So like, let's say there's something really far out that you walked away from, and in a 3D space it's a little bit easier to keep getting back to your ship, but maybe in the 2D space, once you get pretty far out, it's going to be kind of windy to try to get back to your ship. So perhaps you could have some sort of mechanic where they could, you know, go in the background and then carry their items or whatever they're trying to take back to the ship, and perhaps that could be part of the game. Anyways, so that's how I would think run a Pikmin game, where basically, you know, you have still your time limit, you'd still have, you know, the other stages you could explore and like tons of different stuff you could find. However, with this Pikmin game, this is not the avenue they're going. Bill Trinen specifically said that you and your Pikmin are going to be collecting treasures and enemies and blah 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 trying to get to point A to point B. So there is a finish line at the end of every stage, and I don't know if that's going to work as a Pikmin game. The thing is about Pikmin is they want you to explore this world as a tiny little, tiny little Olimar, and these tiny little Pikmin, and face giant enemies, and try to explore, and like, if you keep returning the same day over, or same place over and over in the following few days, like, the guys you killed will stay gone, and like, that area will stay clear, so it'll be easier for you to pass through to maybe get to a certain area quicker, so you can get more done in a day. For lack of a better, like, rationing out your, what's the word? Like, using your time wisely, I don't know, something like that. I mean, I feel like I'm just explaining what a Pikmin game is to you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really how a Pikmin game should feel. If it's just stages going A to B, it's really just a puzzle game, but the puzzles we saw weren't really that exciting in a way. I mean, because you can throw your Pikmin practically anywhere on the touchscreen. There's that one zigzag, like, area or whatever, where like he was grabbing like pieces of like the teapot or whatever to make that bridge. But it's like, it was like March of the Minis. You just like throw them up there and then they just kind of carried it for you and done. Like, what? And then like, of course, the combat itself, I mean, we only saw him fighting that one Bulborb candy corn ripoff guy. I mean, yeah, Pikmin is just a lot of mad chucking, as fast as you can, but there are some strategies. For example, like the mini Bulborbs, you can like, if you throw 2 or 3 in a row, you can flatten them, like right on top of it. Or you throw a rock Pikmin, for example. Or how they introduced in Pikmin 3, where the normal Bulborbs, if you actually hit their eyes, you'll daze them quicker, and then you'll daze them, so then you can actually defeat them quicker, instead of just throwing them all on their back to shake it off and eat it. Like, so there's some strategy to defeating enemies. Perhaps that'll still be the case. But, I mean, it looked pretty straightforward fighting that guy. So overall, I think Pikmin can work as a side-scroller, like I explained before. However, how they're going about it in this game, I don't really know if this is the correct avenue, or really the right direction for a Pikmin side-scroller to work. Like, I feel like I feel like this is going to be a very simple puzzle or side-scrolling game that's really not going to do that well, from at least from my first impressions. I don't think it's going to be like, oh my gosh, this thing's awful, I never want to see it again. It might be just like bad and like people just kind of ignore it type deal. But I think like Pikmin as a side-scroller could work, like I explained. So it's kind of a little upsetting that this is I mean, granted, we don't know how it's going. Maybe that was just how he's phrasing it, saying point A to point B, but it does feel like this is stage-based. And it makes me wonder, like, can you at least, like, how you choose what Pikmin you bring to the stage? Like, do you choose it prior to the stage? Or is it auto-selected for you and you're given X amount of Pikmin for the stage? Because I know there's, like, the fire hazard, what's it called? Like, hazard, duh. There was, like, the fire hazard that they had to throw the red Pikmin on, and, I mean, there was no other Pikmin in the trailer, but I'm sure there's gonna be, all, at least blue and yellow, if not, the other cast from Pikmin 3, perhaps even 2. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say about the Pikmin side-scroller. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about, Pikmin 3DS, it being a side-scroller? Like, I think my idea could really work as a game. However, I mean, it doesn't look like they're gonna be doing that with this game, and might be ruining the chances of ever getting a game like the one I had described. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. Give this video a huge awesome like. I totally appreciate all your guys' support. So I really don't like how I do things now. I just like upload one video, I engage with you guys in comments for a while, and then that's it. And then I disappear for a whole week. And I really want to engage with you guys more and start uploading more frequently. So I'm gonna hopefully, I've just been so stressed and busy lately, and all the dumb life madness. So I'm trying to get past all that, so now I can, do this more, make me happy, make you guys happy, and, just be able to engage with you guys more, basically. I'm going to try to start live streaming again. I might do it this weekend, so maybe stay tuned. I know we had some ones that were pretty successful, and other ones that were just, like, absolutely horrible, So we're going to try, I'm going to start trying again. Maybe I'm going to start doing these more frequent, just little news updates, or even just my thoughts on stuff. And perhaps even I'll start recording gameplays again. I have some other really unique projects I do want to work on as well. Such as, I want to start reviewing games again and then doing some other stuff as well. So you can start looking forward to that stuff. I just gotta, do it, Anyways, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons on Nintendo, Pikmin, all that fun stuff. NX when that stuff starts dropping. Oh, it's gotta be soon. It's gotta be within the next few weeks, I hope, right? Oh my goodness. And anyways, I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.